Okay guys, welcome back after that short advert break. Let's continue with our lesson. In our second question, we are saying here that Mrs. Nkosi's daughter is currently doing a second year at the local university in transport economics. She needs to buy a new laptop for her daughter. She came across a special on a notebook bundle that is on sale for 6,999 Rand, VAT inclusive, as indicated in the advertisement below. Refer to the advertisement to answer the questions that follow. Right, so here we have our advertisement. What is important? It's now available on credit. Should you have the cash amount, you can pay 6,999 Rand. But if not, there's always the option of a higher purchase deal. And what does that entails of? So it will be 12% deposit. You will have 3.5 years to repay the money. And then 21% per annum simple interest. Okay, so there's our scenario. So now, what is it that we need to answer here? It says Mrs. Nkosi is considering the higher purchase option, right? She did some calculations and stated that she will pay exactly 265 Rand and 71 cents per month. So we now need to verify by showing all calculations whether her statement is valid. Okay, so verify by showing all calculations whether the statement is valid. Okay, so where do we start? Let's look again. So if the cash price is 6,999 Rand, we already know now she's going to take the higher purchase option, right? So what is important? First of all, I'll start with the deposit. Okay, so if I look, there's a deposit of 12% needed. Okay, so I'm going to indicate here the deposit, and I'm going to calculate will be 12% of the cash price of 6,999 Rand. Okay, so let's type it in to see what is the deposit amount. So 12% of 6,999. So therefore, it amounts to 839 Rand and 88 cents. Right, so now that amount of money she'll pay. After that, we now need to find what is the amount that needs to be financed, right? So we have to deduct the deposit from our cash amount. Okay, so therefore, I'll say 6,999 Rand minus the deposit of 839 Rand and 88 cents to see what is the amount that needs to be financed, right? So let's type that in, 6,999 Rand minus our deposit of 839 Rand and 88 cents. So that becomes now our loan amount, basically, right, of 6,159 Rand and 12 cents. Okay, so this becomes the loan amount. So now we need to calculate what is the interest that will be payable on this loan amount. So the loan amount is 6,159 Rand and 12 cents, right? So I'm going to take the 6,159 Rand and 12 cents. I will multiply it by the interest rate here, simple interest rate of 21% per annum. So I'll say 21 over 100, multiply by the time frame of 3.5 years. Okay, so I'm going to key that in on my calculator to see what is the interest on this loan amount now. So 6,159 Rand and 12 cents, multiply by 21%, multiply by 3.5, that is your 3.5 years. So that will take us to an amount of 4,526 Rand and 95 cents. And remember, this is only the interest that is payable. Okay? So now I go and I say, okay, what is the total amount to be repaid? And I'll continue on our right-hand side. So I take the loan amount, 6,159 Rand and 12 cents, plus the interest on this loan amount of 4,526 Rand and 95 cents. Okay, so let's add the two amounts together. 6,159 rand and 12 cents plus your 4,526 rand and 95 cents. So that will give us a total amount to be repaid of 10,686 rand and 7 cents. Okay, now remember we are saying she made a statement where she indicated that she will pay exactly 265 rand and 71 cents per month. Now let's look at what our monthly installment will be. So therefore, to get the monthly installment, I'll write that out. Monthly installment. How do we determine the monthly installment? Again, we take the total amount payable. So I'm going to take the 10,686 rand and 7 cents. And I'm going to divide that by, and now we have to be careful, remember, it's a period of 3.5 years. So note that 3 years already gives us 36 months. Now that comma 5 does not represent 5 months. It represents half a year. And how many months do we have in half a year? All right, 6 months, I agree. So therefore, we'll divide this then by 42 months. Right, so it's a 36 months of the 3 full years, plus that half a year, the other 6 months. That's how I ended up at 42 months. So let's type that in, 10,686 rand and 7 cents, divided by 42 months. So that will give us an amount of 254 rand and 43 cents. Right, so I took the total amount payable, 10,686 rand and 7 cents. I divided that by the 42 months. So that will give me a monthly installment of 254 rand and 43 cents. So here's the important part. It says verify. We already did all our calculations whether her statement is valid. Guys, and please note, you have to conclude, right? Your educator, the marker, is not going to conclude for you. So now I look, she indicated her monthly installment is 265 rand and 71 cents per month. We calculated and we came to an amount of 254 rand and 43 cents. So therefore, we will conclude by saying that the statement is invalid. We agree on that? A statement is invalid because she'll end up paying only 254 rand and 43 cents and not the 265 rand and 71 cents as she have claimed. Okay, guys, I hope that's clear. Let us quickly take a short break. After the advert break, we'll wrap up today's lesson. See you now.